Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well today. So, we are in a dilemma. And this is why this video now has to be done, because it seems like the possibility of a certain scenario coming into fruition is looking like it's getting more likely as each day goes by. So, we're going to talk about the ramifications of Chelsea and Strasbourg both qualifying for the Champions League and what would that mean for both clubs. But before we do, make sure you guys are here later on tonight, which will be the watch-along for Inter Milan versus Barcelona, second leg of the Champions League semi-final. We did watch Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest on a wonderful watch-along, where there was quite a lot of you as well, and you all enjoyed it. So we're going to do the same tonight for the Champions League, same tomorrow night for the Champions League, and then same on Thursday night for the mighty Joe Garden coming to the bridge. So make sure you guys are here for all of that. Subscribe, notification bell on to be notified once I do go live. And also check out the video that's coming later. I'm going to give you a news video as well. I'm guessing after the football is done. So make sure you guys are here. Right. Let's get cracking. First and foremost, to start off with, I think it's wise to check the current situation. Let's take a look at the Premier League table. Let's take a look at Ligue 1 in France. Where do Chelsea sit? Where do Strasbourg sit? What's the most likely outcome? And then we'll be able to get into the details. So here's the Premier League table as it stands. Chelsea currently in 5th, which is a Champions League spot for this season. Currently sitting level on points with Newcastle, 1 point behind Man City and 4 behind Arsenal. Chelsea's remaining games are Newcastle away, Manchester United, and also Nottingham Forest. 2 teams that are sitting around Chelsea, Chelsea have to play. So chances are, right now as it stands, it is in Chelsea's hands to get Champions League football. And I think one more positive result might just cement it based on what the other teams are also doing. If anyone drops points, then fantastic. I think if Chelsea beat Newcastle, for example, that pretty much could nail it on with 2 games remaining, right? It could. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If Nottingham Forest drop points one more time, then it's a wrap. And that also brings into fruition the Chelsea-Nottingham Forest game at the end of the season, which could be a final, basically. So that's the Premier League, and that's Chelsea. Over in France, Strasbourg. This is really, really tasty. Marseille in 2nd on 59 points. Monaco in 3rd on 58. Nice in 4th on 57. Lille in 5th on 57. Strasbourg in 6th on 57. Lyon in 7th on 54. 5 points separate 2nd to 7th. It's absolutely insane. And there's 2 games remaining. 2. Strasbourg have to play Angers, who are currently sitting in 14th, and Le Havre, sitting in 16th. So 2 teams that are battling relegation, which I'm sure won't be easy, but if you had to choose games to go into the end of the season with, you would have chosen those sort of clubs. Strasbourg are in a very good position here. The top 4 in France do make Champions League. The top 3 make automatic qualification, and 4th has to go through qualifying. Strasbourg would absolutely take that, but 4th, 5th and 6th are currently nailed on. 3rd is only 1 point behind, and 2nd is only 2 points behind. Anything can happen here. I honestly think Strasbourg will do it. I think Strasbourg are 1 more win away from basically cementing it, because I don't believe everyone's going to win their games. I mean, well, they could, but you never know. Someone's dropping points. Someone has to drop points, surely. We'll see. But it's looking good for Strasbourg and the remaining games that they have compared to the others. So, we now have to discuss a situation where Chelsea qualify for the Champions League, Strasbourg qualify for the Champions League. As it stands, that cannot happen. And why can it not happen? It can happen in terms of qualifying, but both teams cannot compete together at the same time in the same competition under the same ownership. Blue Co own Chelsea. Blue Co own Strasbourg. If both qualify for the Champions League, UEFA rules prohibit 2 teams under the same ownership competing in the same competition at the same time. So what happens? There's two options. Option one team gets sacrificed, which won't go down well. Let's be real. For this situation, Blueco are in between a rock and a hard place because there's no way they're letting go of Chelsea in the Champions League. There's no chance that happens. But because they can't do that, what about Strasbourg? Strasbourg, who don't play Champions League football, they just don't. Their fans who already, right, for quite some time have wanted Blueco out, would kick off if Strasbourg qualify for the Champions League and then they get told they can't play because Chelsea have to go and play. That is the problem that many Strasbourg fans have with Blueco, is being part of this multi-club model and having to play second fiddle to the big club, which is Chelsea in this. That's what they're against here. They're not, I don't think they're against many of the things that could have been implemented into the team or the way that they're playing, the manager that they have, where they are in the table. I mean, I think they're probably cool with that. They don't like being a feeder club to someone else. They would rather be independent and close to relegation than be in a multi-club model and have to play second fiddle to someone. That's what they're against it. So imagine making Champions League because you actually have the quality to do so, and then you get told, nah, you're not playing it because Chelsea have to go and play it. I mean, that will not go down well at all. So that's option one. Now, there is option two. The problem is, I don't know how this is going to happen. Nottingham Forest are in this situation too. The owner of Nottingham Forest, Evangelos Marinakis, owns Nottingham Forest and also owns Olympiakos in Greece. Now, he's a Greek owner, so he does own Olympiakos. He's already taken action based on the possibility of Nottingham Forest also qualifying for the Champions League, with Olympiakos qualifying for the Champions League, which is pretty common for Olympiakos. You know, the Greek teams, you get Olympiakos, you get Panathinaikos. Those sort of teams you tend to find in the Champions League. So, both teams qualifying for the Champions League, the possibility, he's already taken action. Do you want to know what this action is? Well, let me show you. Here it is. Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis removes himself from control of the club by withdrawing position at company's house. Sky Sports News has been told this could be a temporary due to a possible conflict of interest with Olympiakos set to compete in the Champions League next year. The BBC says Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis has diluted his control of the club. Goes on to say, Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis temporarily halts his involvement with the club. His shares have been placed in a blind trust to comply with UEFA's multi-club ownership regulations. Olympiakos, who he also owns, have qualified for the Champions League, while Forest hope to. Goes on to say, Evangelos Marinakis pauses involvement in Nottingham Forest to comply with UEFA multi-club ownership regulations. Rules will not allow Forest and Olympiakos to both compete in the Champions League. If Forest qualify, Marinakis remains fully committed. He's already taken this action and placed his part in a blind trust. Blueco would have to do the same thing. Chances are they will do the same thing with Strasbourg. Not with Chelsea. No way. Which, you know what? I think will go down well with the Strasbourg fans. I think that one would actually go down well. They'd probably look and go, yeah, now can someone get like control of this blind trust, please, so then we can get it off Blueco? Maybe they're thinking that. But that's the way around it. That's the way around it. Problem is, Blueco have to do that pretty quickly. I don't know how long it's taken for him to be able to put that through, for the Nottingham Forest owner, Evangelos Marinakis, to be able to put that process through. How long is that process to put the club into a blind trust? Is that quick? Is that long? Well, it's got to be done ASAP, because now it's looking like it's seriously likely that Chelsea and Strasbourg could be making Champions League football. If it's a quick process, maybe Blueco are just hanging about and waiting to see what happens. But if it's a quick process, why would the Nottingham Forest owner have already done it? When it's now looking more and more that Nottingham Forest could actually miss out on Champions League. So what happens at that point? You know? So this is why I want to know, how long is this process? You know? Coming off Company's House in terms of name, placing it in a blind trust, I think that's a process. I don't think that happens overnight. So Blueco have got to make a decision right now. And they've got to do it with... Now, I'm not sure in terms of the structure over in France. Company's House in England, and the process can be... The bureaucracy in England can be a little long, right? In France, I'm not sure how that works. Are things quick? Are things long? I don't know. But they've got to do it, and they've got to do it like yesterday, basically. If not... Because UEFA rules are quite strict. If it comes to it, and UEFA have any sort of deadline, and it's gone past, then UEFA can just be like, you're going to have to pick a club. End of story. And then you ain't getting a way around it. So Blueco have got to hurry up here and make a decision. And like I said, it's going to be with Strasbourg. It's not going to be with Chelsea. They're going to probably put Strasbourg into a trust if they have to, but time's ticking. So that is the way around it. That's the only way around it. There's no other solution here, unless Blueco have found another loophole somewhere that I'm not aware of, which is very possible, because they're the kings of loopholes. I just wonder how many loopholes have they got left. Eventually, you're going to run out of loopholes. Do you know what I mean? So they've got to be quick. This is a way that's been proven and tested, clearly, by Nottingham Forest. Blueco have got to make a decision, and they've got to make a decision now. So let me know your thoughts on that. That's the way around it. They can both play in the Champions League together, but this is the only way. What do you think? Let me know down below. Do you think Chelsea will make Champions League football? Strasbourg will make Champions League football? How do you think it's all going to go down? Let me know your thoughts down below. And I'll see all of you later on for the second video, which will be after the Inter Milan-Barcelona game. So make sure you guys are here for that. And the watch-along of the Inter Milan-Barcelona game, where we get to witness proper Champions League heritage. We get to witness the competition that we're looking to get ourselves back into and how it's meant to be played, right? Because the first leg was absolute cinema. I'm looking forward to the sequel tonight. So make sure you guys are here for the watch-along and we can watch it together. So much appreciated, people. See all of you then. Thank you all so much. Subscribe, notification bell on, and I'll catch you later. Take care and peace.